Sonic 3 has just hit theaters, and the next movie is already confirmed. Great news for everyone.
The more you talk, the harder I want to hit you.
Did you know that new characters, never seen outside the games, are set to join the Blue Hedgehog's next adventure?
You're a colorful bunch.
Let's start with one of Sonic's most menacing enemies, Metal Sonic. This villain has been confirmed for the next film, thanks to the post-credits scene from the last movie. Fans went wild when they saw Metal Sonic, not just as a singular figure, but accompanied by a horde of robotic clones. This badnik is a creation of Dr. Eggman, built to destroy the hero, and fans worldwide have been speculating about Metal Sonic making an appearance to challenge the Hedgehog. Since an entire army of robots, all shaped like Metal Sonic, was shown, the latest theory is that the next movie's villain won't be Dr. Eggman, but Neo Metal Sonic, a highly intelligent version of the robot capable of controlling others and transforming into his ultimate form, Metal Overlord. It's worth mentioning that Dr. Eggman might not return for this film, as actor Jim Carrey has once again announced his retirement. But don't go anywhere, because we're just getting started. Today, we'll dive into 12 more characters who are set to appear in Sonic 4. Welcome to another episode of Cinewave. Rose is one of the biggest surprises in Sonic 3. She shows up in the post-credits scene, obliterating an entire army of Metal Sonic robots. This isn't because fans didn't expect her to appear, but because her portrayal is quite different from her initial character design. In her debut game, Sonic the Hedgehog CD, Amy was kidnapped by the robotic hedgehog clone and spent much of her early days as the classic damsel in distress. However, during the Chaos Villain arc, she decided to become more independent. The Amy Rose we see in Sonic 3 is far from a damsel in distress. She makes a high-speed entrance wielding her Pico Pico hammer, taking down an entire troop of robots by herself. This implies that Amy will be closer to her current iterations, a strong, capable warrior with deep feelings for the hero, but not defined by him. With Neo Metal Sonic and the Robotnik Empire as the primary antagonists of Sonic 4, this version of Amy appears to be the leader of the resistance against the badniks left after Dr. Eggman's downfall. In Sonic Adventure 2, the game that inspired much of the last film alongside Shadow the Hedgehog, fans and characters alike believed that Shadow was dead. But in Sonic Heroes, the gun agency sends their agent, Rouge the Bat, to infiltrate one of Dr. Eggman's fortresses, where she discovers Shadow's body and frees him. In the last movie's second post-credit scene, we find out that the Black Hedgehog is alive, a revelation that aligns perfectly with Rouge's storyline. She may have been the one to save Shadow, or she could have been the one to discover him in Sonic 4. There are rumors that Paramount Studios plans to create a spin-off series about Shadow, similar to what they've done with Knuckles. This series, though unconfirmed, could potentially set the stage for Sonic 4's storyline. This makes sense, as one of the key events in Sonic 3, locating the Chaos Emerald, was directly tied to events from the Knuckles series. Going forward, the Hedgehog universe's spin-off productions will likely become integral to the overarching storylines. If Sonic 4 adapts Sonic Heroes, it could also introduce the Time Stones, mystical jewels with time travel capabilities in this universe. The Silver Hedgehog, Silver, may not appear until the very end of the film, but his arrival seems inevitable. Just as Amy Rose's cameo was theorized for Sonic 3, we believe Silver will be the post-credits surprise for Sonic 4, perhaps alongside another character. This is because time travel is expected to play a major role in Sonic 4. Metal Sonic originates from a game that heavily involves time travel, and if the Amy Rose we see is the Resistance leader version from a parallel timeline, where the Robotnik Empire dominates the world, then the Time Stones mentioned earlier are bound to come into play. The most likely scenario is that Sonic 4 adapts Sonic Heroes, with Neo Metal Sonic as the main villain who ultimately transforms into Metal Overlord. Then, Sonic 5 could explore a dystopian world destroyed by the Robotnik Empire. In this setup, Sonic 4's finale might introduce Silver traveling back in time to warn the heroes about the universe's ultimate villain, Mephiles. Would you like to time travel with Silver? Let us know in the comments with #time. If Sonic 4 ends with the world in ruins, and Silver traveling back in time to warn the team about a powerful new villain, Mephiles, it would set up the perfect story arc. Why? Because before Shadow was captured by Gun and sealed for 50 years, he completed a mission that led him to imprison Mephiles inside a magical scepter. In the future, after the events of Sonic Adventure 2, or the storyline of the third movie, Rouge discovers this scepter while infiltrating Dr. Eggman's fortress alongside Shadow. In the games, these events are separate, happening in Sonic Heroes and Sonic 2006 respectively, but both involve Rouge and Shadow infiltrating Eggman's fortress. This makes a potential Shadow series even more crucial. Mephiles could be introduced in such a spin-off and emerge as Sonic 5's main villain, likely making his first appearance in Sonic 4's post-credit scene alongside Silver. Why is this character so significant? Simple, he's the one who killed Sonic. Just as Sonic has Tails as his trusty best friend, Amy has Creme, a flying rabbit who is always accompanied by her chow, Cheese. This adorable companion is practically inseparable from Creme and even made a brief cameo in Sonic 3 in the form of a costume. If Amy is confirmed for the next movie, it's almost certain that Creme will join the adventure too. The two are best friends, and it's likely that the next movie will adapt Sonic Heroes, where 4 teams of heroes fight against Neo Metal Sonic's plans. Creme is part of Amy's team, making it a sure bet that both she and Cheese will appear in this movie. In the last movie, the gun director referred to Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles as Team Sonic, a direct nod to Sonic Heroes. Additionally, Amy's post-credits scene, where she defeats Metal Sonic, hints strongly that Neo Metal Sonic will be the main villain. For this reason, Team Rose, consisting of Amy, Creme, and Big, is almost certain to appear in Sonic 4. Big is the third member of Team Rose. He's a massive purple cat with super strength and a fishing rod. In Sonic Heroes, Amy is searching for Sonic because Big's pet, Froggy, has been kidnapped by Metal Sonic. See how it all connects? Big isn't one of the most beloved characters in the Sonic universe because he's very gentle and a bit slow-witted. However, despite his less exciting backstory, he's incredibly strong and an essential ally for the heroes. The third member of Team Dark in Sonic Heroes is a robot called E123 Omega, joining Shadow and Rouge. When Rouge finds Shadow's hidden body in Dr. Eggman's fortress, a highly intelligent robot, similar to Metal Sonic, appears to guard the hedgehog from intruders. Rouge fights the robot, but eventually, E123 Omega learns that Dr. Robotnik is no longer alive and had merely been using him. Seeking freedom, Omega joins Team Dark to help defeat Neo Metal Sonic's plans, becoming the only robot to side with the heroes. And to keep up with our plans, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. In Sonic Heroes, Team Sonic includes Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. Team Rose has Amy, Creme, and Big. Team Dark features Shadow, Rouge, and E123 Omega. But there's one more group, Team Chaotix. The first member is Espio the Chameleon. He's a detective skilled in solving mysteries and a master of martial arts with ninja-like abilities. On top of that, his camouflage and invisibility skills, thanks to his chameleon traits, make him a valuable ally. The second member of Team Chaotix is Vector the Crocodile. He's the leader of the detective agency and one of the oldest characters in the Sonic universe, having been conceptualized during the early development of the franchise's first game. Although he first came to life in Knuckles' Chaotix, Vector is unique in that unlike most Sonic characters who are teens, he's considered an adult. Despite being a crocodile, a creature often associated with villains, Vector is a good-hearted and cool-headed reptile. Vector's main passions are music and money, but always in an honest way. If he appears in Sonic 4, you can definitely expect an epic soundtrack. The final member of Team Chaotix is Charmi, a bee. Similar to Tails and Creme, Charmi has the ability to fly, but with the added advantage of doing so permanently thanks to his wings. He's the only insect character in the Sonic universe. Contrary to popular belief, Charmi is also one of the oldest characters in the Sonic franchise, making his debut in the 1992 manga alongside Amy Rose. Charmi is featured in Knuckles' Chaotix, and of course, Sonic Heroes. However, in the games, he's portrayed as a child rather than a teenager, which could potentially be altered for the storyline in Sonic 4. Lastly, the final character we believe could make a small appearance in Sonic 4 is Fang the Sniper. This character is a clever treasure hunter and thief. In the games, Fang successfully steals 5 Chaos Emeralds and uses a flying motorcycle known as the Queen Marvelous. Originally, Fang was supposed to appear in Sonic Heroes as part of his own trio called Team Hooligan, but the idea was scrapped due to the game's size constraints. Now, with Sonic Heroes potentially being adapted in Sonic 4, Fang might finally get his chance. He may not appear as part of a trio since that would introduce too many characters in one film. However, his inclusion could signify further expansion of the Sonic universe. It's also worth noting that Fang could replace E123 Omega in Team Dark, as the story already includes an intelligent robot rebelling against Eggman, namely Metal Sonic himself. Wow, that's a lot of characters. At least half of them are likely to appear in Sonic 4, especially as the focus shifts away from the human cast. Until then, the one thing that won't be disappearing is you! Stick around because we've got 2 more videos lined up for you to enjoy. See you in the next one!